Could you describe your project, Missing?
Missing is a public art project, which is its main focus is on awareness. And as an artist, when I was dealing with this topic, it's been years of being in an anti-trafficking space. It started with me way back in 10 years back when I met Urmi Basu of New Light, when I went into the Kalighat red light area. And then I was introduced to Richura a few years later, and I went into Khidirpur and Forbesganj. And recently I've even worked with Shrabani and Hamari Muskan. So, but for me, Missing has been a kind of a culmination of my own discovery of what a victim could go through. And I've seen up close the beautiful work people like Ruchira do in this space, and really working hard on preventing second generation prostitution, and helping in creating laws and advocacy and policy making, and giving voice to the voiceless. And they've always inspired me. But Missing has been a kind of a product of saying, as an artist, Leena, what can you do in this space which can lend a hand further to the good work which is being done by the others here? And as an artist, then I kind of moved to create a public language, a visual language which could engage the public, because I felt the public, which was one of the biggest stakeholders in the issue, was going scot-free. They weren't being addressed. Everybody was so busy addressing the pimp, addressing the trafficker, addressing the red light, addressing the victim, that I felt the public, which is the biggest stakeholder in this issue, was not being spoken to. And they were in their passivity thinking they weren't responsible for these girls who were getting trafficked, and the numbers we can see are increasing every day. So I just want to bridge that gap within that space and try and do my bit in that space.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How will your project help victims of trafficking? Kind of answered this, but...
So, Missing, as in being in the prevention space, I didn't really set out to help victims. I'm going to set out to help future victims. So my motto is, why wait for a girl to get trafficked to save her? Because there are so many victims whom we spoke to now, because invariably I got introduced to people working in the thick of the trafficking belt of West Bengal in Kultoli. And that's an area which has got a very high trafficking rate, and we've been now working there for 2 years, and we've helped save 40 girls out there. I didn't set out to rescue girls, but I've been by default, because if I'm involved in the issue, I can't remove myself from certain points of it. It just all comes in all together. So though I have not set out to rescue, we have helped save girls, but the Missing's main language is prevention. We are talking to the public, saying that you are a major stakeholder in this issue. You can't negate the fact that these girls are getting trafficked because of your passivity or because of a demand which you are creating, and you cannot say this is not your business. And in our awareness sessions which we do in schools, along with the stencil campaign, we talk to children, we talk to girls who might have been trafficked, because that's a very, very vulnerable area, and children there have heard of friends and relatives who've got trafficked. I mean, children going missing is not rare there, and when you go in and ask them, have you ever heard of a girl getting someone who's disappeared, and they'll all say yeah. That itself is so shocking, and it just gives you such shivers. And I'm happy that I'm able to go into those spaces and even make them aware of their choices and how they should be able to address or understand what's happening around them, question, be smart. And that's the language.
That's great. What have been some major points of inspiration?
Major points of inspiration have been, of course, Ruchira has been a major point of inspiration. Like I said, all the people who do the good work in this space so selflessly and so religiously, and every day is another day, and the kind of each one has given me inspiration in a way. All the people who I have brushed with in this space, and who give themselves selflessly in the space have been inspirations.
Has Ruchira inspired you in any way?
Yeah, I just did. She did, yeah.
What have you given back to the organization Apne Aap as a result?
It's a very strange question because missing is a part of this bigger language which we all are a part of. So I'm never going to ask what did Apne Aap give me. So missing is there. And just last week, when I was approached by the German consulate to do an awareness campaign, I actually roped in the Apne Aap girls. So they are a part of my language, along with the other organizations I work with. And I've always been there for Ruchira whenever she wanted me. So I think it's been there.
Some artists do not like to be labeled as an activist. What are your feelings about this?
It's about your journey, I feel. Yeah, probably calling themselves activists sort of takes them away from the art stream. But I think it's about finding yourself and what you want to say. So if I want to talk anti-trafficking and that labels me as an activist, which I think any strong topic, like be it an artist talking about migration, be it an artist talking about partition, be it an artist talking about any social political issue, they could all be termed activists in their own way. So I think the world can go labeling you the way they want, but that doesn't mean that you lose focus on what moves you as an artist and what do you want to say and what's the content of your art. That carries on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.